Here, all of the mess. Hello, welcome to another episode of Murray's Law. We're going to jump right in. Let's see, how do I do this? No, I don't even know what that is. All right, hello everyone. My daughter's on here too. We are going live. I don't know how to make this go to YouTube. So we're just going to stream from the group and on IG. So welcome. Really excited that you all are here for another episode of Murray's Law. For anybody that is new, Murray's Law is, we do it every second Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time, where I answer your questions. The questions are pre-submitted through our community, the Genius Lounge, and our Genius Insiders questions, they take priority over anyone else's because that's what membership gets you. Today, I want to talk about a few things. So last week, I posted, I think I did a reel. Oh, I did that reel that was like all over the place, but I did a reel that talked about basically 4 myths that are out there when it comes to trademarks. And today I'm going to talk about the why behind those things. So these things aren't true, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about that today. And also we're going to talk about, let's see, here we go. We're going to talk about how there's some changes going on at Uspto, and that's probably where we're going to start at. I was going to try to go, they change, hold on one second. I was going to try to go live on YouTube, but this looks different than what I'm used to. So I don't know how to go live on YouTube anymore. So sorry, I'll just put it up there. Anyway, so we're going to go to the first thing we're going to talk about is Uspto, right? Let's talk about what's going on there. Let me check my notes, make sure I have some things for you. Let's see. And if you are watching me anywhere, just make a note. Let us know what you do. Let us know what you do while I'm pulling this up. Let's see. Totally Refresh Cleaning. Is that what that says? Yes. Tanisha Andrews, all Tory. All right. Travel Love Coffee. Good. So we are going to talk about really quick. So up until, well, typically when you get your trademark registered, you go through this long process, and we've talked about this process, right? But at the end of this process, you're able to have something to show for it. There's a certificate that they normally send out. Well, starting next month, June 7th, they are going to do away with the trademark certificates. They are going strictly digital. And by they, I mean the United States Patent and Trademark Office. They are going digital. So what that means is at the end of the process, and the reason they're doing it is because they want to be able to get you your certificate sooner, which, okay, people like that. Let's get things going a little faster. But some people really like having that physical proof of everything that they've gone through. So what does that mean? Well, like anything, you know, if you want the physical copy, you can definitely get a physical copy. There'll just be a charge for that. And that charge, let's see, I think it's going to be $25 to have that certificate mailed to you. However, if you applied and if you request your certificate, let's see, what is it? If you apply by June 7th, then you can request a free copy. So if you're applying after they start issuing the digital copy, then you have to pay the fee. If you applied before they did go digital, then you can request a free copy when the time comes. So let me know, what do you all think? Let me know in the comments in the chat. What do you think? How do you feel about digital proof of your trademark registration? Do you care? Are you like sad about it? Do you wish you had a paper copy? Does it matter? I'm trying to open this water, but I can't figure it out while I wait on you all. Here we go. To let me know how you feel about it. Hey. So we just talked about how we're going digital, not we, USPTO is going digital with the trademark certificates. And I was just asking, how do you feel about it? Do you want a paper? So if you have a trademark, if you have your trademark, right? Do you want the paper? Was the paper certificate, did it matter to you? Apparently I'm letting this water bottle beat me. Oh, well. There it is. No, not really. Yes. Okay. Cool beans. Yeah. I feel like for me, you think you would prefer a paper copy, and we're going to give our clients an option. So anybody that's applied before June 7th, we're going to request a paper copy for you automatically. Anybody that is afterwards and you want one, we're just going to ask you if you want one. So let's see who's on the line, who's with us today. Tesla, the owner of Totally Refreshed Cleaning, a commercial cleaning business, and you would love to have a paper copy. I think a lot of our clients really do. They really enjoy having that paper copy. And where are you located? If someone needs commercial cleaning, where are you located? Okay. So what we're going to do right now is take it. No, I had a song in my head. But what we're going to do now is get into Murray's Law. We're going to get into the why. Why don't these trademark myths work, right? So first, just as a recap, Atlanta, Georgia. All right, that's what's up, Atlanta, Georgia. So right now we're going to go into the 4 myths that I talked about last week. I'm just going to name them and then we're just going to jump into it. So a huge myth that people think is one, that your domain name, if you purchase a domain name that offers some type of trademark protection, that's one. 2, your LLC can protect your brand. 3, you don't need to get a trademark until you're making money in your business. And the 4th myth I would say is that people believe that trademark protection is just for big businesses. It's not for new business owners or small business owners. So let me know if you've heard any of those myths. So if you've heard any of those before, let me know in the comments that you've heard, which one you've heard. So, or even if you believe that your domain is the same as a trademark, that your LLC can protect your brand, that you need to be making money in your business before you get a trademark, or that trademark registration protecting your brand is only for big businesses. Let me know what you think about that. As for me, I'm going to start with the domain. But before I get into that, we're going to shout out one of our fellow Genius Insiders, Taisha. She is a transformational coach and speaker. She really helps with mindset. And I just want to stop right there. Mindset, when you're as an entrepreneur, is everything. It really can determine how far you go in business, because a lot of times we are in our own way. So if you feel like you're in your own way as it relates to your mindset, definitely check her out. Give her a call. Follow her on Instagram as well. And one of the myths that someone says that an LLC is your protection. They heard that before. I see that a lot. It is not. We're going to start with, and we're going to hit that one, but we're going to start with purchasing a domain protects your brand. So one of the things that I have to do as a trademark attorney, when I'm working with clients and we're completing their application, we have to put down when they first start using the mark in commerce. Can I get rid of these ugly things? Okay. When did they start using the mark in commerce, right? And a lot of times what they will say is, well, I bought the domain 5 years ago, but I launched my business, 2 weeks ago. They want to give me the date from 5 years ago as the day they start using their trademark in commerce. And that's just not true. Hey, but that's not true. Your domain name, the date that you purchase your domain, does not mean anything when it comes to trademark. A domain is simply an address. It's an address. It tells people where to find your business online. So people, you can just think about you renting a space, but not being open for business yet. So just because you have a place for your business to be located doesn't mean that you're actually in business. So trademarks protect brand identifiers that identify the source of a good or service. That domain name does not identify the source of a good or service. It tells you where you can go get it. And that's why domains do not offer any trademark protection at all. And another thing I've seen people do as well is they want to have, and this is just when it comes to like naming and everything of that nature, they want to make sure that their domain name and their trademark are the same, which is good. If you can get it all together, that's fine. But don't let the fact that you can't get the URL of the domain stop you from using your unique name. If you have something that's really unique, but you can't get the domain for it, then find a modifier or some other way to get people to where you are. But that's myth number one, that a domain name or purchasing a domain will protect your brand. It will not. Myth number two, we're going to get into this one, is that your LLC will stop people from using your trademark. So your LLC, an LLC, first of all, stands for limited liability company, and it is a business entity. It's a type of business formation. It's something that you file with your state, right? And the state wants to know who has a business and what type of protection they're going to have, like what type of laws are going to govern that business, because each business entity has its own basically set of rules. So what rules are we applying to your business? Now, here in Alabama, when we go to form the LLC, the first thing we have to do is reserve the name and then the certificate of formation. And a lot of people think because they reserve that name on the state level, you can't be touched. You can't touch me. I have my trademark. My name is reserved. I just saw Shemaya's video. I think today she did a video about that very thing that she said. Someone said those exact words, like, I have my LLC, I got my paper. You can't touch me. My brand is protected. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Your LLC does not protect your trademark. It has nothing to do with a trademark, actually. Your LLC identifies your business. So the state knows who has a business and where to come get the money from. That's it. That's it. Because think about it. Your trademark is how consumers identify with you. You have a lot of people who have a business name that's not the same as their trademark. So famous companies, what is it? Gap Inc. They own Banana Republic, Old Navy, and a whole bunch of other companies, but they're doing business as Banana Republic, Gap, Old Navy, but their business entity is Gap Inc. So it's not the same. It's not the same. So that's why you having an LLC doesn't protect your trademark. And also, because it's based on state, you're only checking the state database. That means that name was available in your state, which is why you can have so many businesses with the same name across state lines. I've had to send out several cease and desist letters for different clients where the company had the LLC, and they would say, well, how can I be infringing on their trademark if I have the LLC? And that's because your LLC is not protecting your brand. It's simply a name that's with the state, and it stops at the state level. You're not checking a federal database to see what's available when you reserve that name for your LLC. So that's myth number two. Second. This is bothering me. That's a little better. So that's myth number two, is that your LLC will protect your trademark in some type of way. It won't. It can't. It can't. And even if, and this is another thing too, I like to tell people, even if you're not doing business across state lines, meaning you don't qualify for federal trademark protection, you still need to be aware of federal trademarks. Because again, just because the name is available in your state database doesn't mean that you're not infringing on someone's trademark if you choose to use that business name also as your trade name. That happens So you have to be aware and make sure that you're not infringing on someone else's trademark, even if you are just doing business in your state. So that's number 2. Number 3, this is a huge one, y'all. This is a huge one. Let me know if 1, you've heard of this before. Put a 1 if you heard it before, and put a 2 if this is something that you personally believe. Like, even if you hadn't heard, like, this is just something that you believe. That you have to be making money in your business in order to get a trademark. Like, you don't need a trademark until you're making money. Put a 1 if you've heard that before. Put a 2 if, hey, I believe that. I think that's true. So let me just tell you, it's not true. It is not true. And as a matter of fact, if you wait until you're making money in your business, you run the risk of your brand name not being available because you waited too long. And let's talk about why this is not true. Well, first of all, so let me back up a little bit. So if that's not true, if you don't need to be making money in your business before you get the registration, then what do you need to do? What I always say, you need to have proof of concept. You basically need a business plan. You need to make sure that you have a viable business, but you don't have to wait until you're actually out in the market to do that. You actually have to do some legwork beforehand. So you need your business plan. You need to also make sure that you do market research. Do people really want what you're offering them? Make sure you know how you're going to get your money. I always say trademarks are an investment. How are you getting your money back? What is your plan for that? Once you have all those things and you know that this is something that you're going to stick with, because don't let the internet fool you into thinking that you're going to start this business today and be a millionaire in 6 months. That's not really how this works. Sometimes people can hit like that, but most of the time you have to really get into the weeds. You really have to work your business in order for it to produce like that. So if you know that you're not willing to do the work, don't even worry about it. Let me tell you why. First of all, the trademark process is long. I've had not very many, but I've had just like 1 or 2 people who start the process, and by the time we finish, they've said, oh, I'm not doing that business anymore. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. So that's number 1. So that's how you know that you need that's when you kind of figure out when you need a trademark, is when you know. And then also be sure that this is the name that you want. I'll be honest with you. We have several brand identifiers that we have not trademarked simply because I'm not 100% sure they're long-term. Sometimes you just have to get to market. And this is what we chose to go to market with. Now, we do have a trademark for our trade name, and we have one for one of our slogans, but the other things that we're still working, and actually we're working with someone now to help us with that. But the reason you don't want to wait, until your business is making money to get your trademark is because if you wait, then you run the risk of someone getting maybe not your same trademark, but maybe something similar. And it's so similar that you can't get your trademark anymore, because trademarks protect not only same, but also similar. And I've had this happen where someone chose not to get the trademark before they launched, and they got to launch, invested like over $10,000 in marketing, and received a cease and desist right before they were getting ready to launch. Can you imagine spending that kind of money and being told that, hey, you have to do it all over again? So the alternative, one of the things that we really advise our clients to do in this pre-launch phase is file what's called an intent to use application, which will give you priority over anyone that actually uses the mark before you. So in the United States, it's first to use, not first to file. But if you're not using it, you don't have a trademark. So what you have to do is file this intent to use, and it gives you priority over someone who might actually use it. And we have more information about that. We just wrote a blog post about it last week. So you can definitely click the link in my bio. And if you're on Instagram, click the link in the bio. If you're in the Genius Lounge, just go to podcast and you will see, go to our blog and you will see the latest blog post, right? And we had a good question here that's that's in line with this one, which is how long is the process? The process now can take anywhere from 1.5 years or longer, simply because once we file the application, it's going to sit in the database waiting to be assigned to an examining attorney for 8 months. So that's part of it. And then you have to go through all the other phases. And we actually talk about and give an overview of that trademark process. Again, there's a link, click the link and read our blog. We go through that as well. Let's see, is it necessary to get a trademark if you have a new product idea that I would like to trademark before I let people test it out and get true? Oh, okay. So trademarks don't protect ideas. That's the thing that you have to remember. Trademarks don't protect ideas. They protect brand identifiers. So you can let people test your product out without telling them what the brand name is. And you can also definitely use a NDA to make sure that your idea doesn't go out. And we have those NDAs. If you go to our Genius Lounge, we actually have contract templates that you can purchase. So you can do that and be able to access that template. All right, going into the home stretch. So we said there's 4 myths, and we talked about 3 of them. We talked about why purchasing a domain does not protect your brand, why an LLC does nothing to keep people off your trademark. We talked about why you cannot wait until you're making money in order to file your trademark. And the last myth that I want to talk about today is you have to be a small business. The myth is you have to be a big business in order to get a trademark, that trademarks are just reserved for fancy folks. And that is a lie. And I can say that because my mom is not here. And we know there's certain words you can't say around Black mamas. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And lie is one of those. I'm 40, I'll be 43. I'll be 43 next week. And yeah, I still don't use that word in front of my mama. So, but she's not here today and she's not on Instagram. So I can say that that is a lie, right? Trademarks are not reserved for big businesses. As a matter of fact, if you are a small business and you have your trademark, it can help you if a big business is trying to use something similar. It can help you because now you have priority over them because you were using it first and you have the paperwork. And so they can't try to bully you into not using that trademark. So, and I think one of the reasons that we got into this niche anyway, because when I first started my practice, it was general practice, but we narrowed it down because we saw there was such a need for intellectual property in the Black community because they didn't know how much of an asset it really is. You have people who are always saying, oh, well, they stole this, they stole that. They can't steal it from you if you own it. And you don't have to be a big business to own it. And especially if your goal is to create something bigger, if you're doing this so you can start creating legacy and wealth for yourself, so you can do something for your family, you want to make sure that the assets are protected. These assets, it's not just a sheet of paper. I tell people that all the time. You have businesses who use this intellectual property as collateral for loans. You use it so that if you decide to license it, because your brand, even though you're a small business, people recognize the value in your brand and you have a good community and people want to get in touch and people want to work with you, right? And now you can license your brand name in order to make additional money. A good person for that is actually Mimi G. I love that she's working with the Simplicity brand. And she does the DIY sewing and she's working with that brand, and they actually have a line that has her name on it. They couldn't use her name without her permission. She has to give them permission for that. But you have to own something in order to give them permission, right? So that's myth number 4. How many people thought that? How many people believe that trademarks are just for big businesses? Let me know in the comments. Put a 1 if that's something that you believe. Let's see. Night Custom Kicks. I'm a small business owner. You do it all by hand. What do? Do you clean shoes or do you make shoes? Let's check over here in the Genius Lounge. Hey ladies, how you doing? How you doing? Let me know in the comments. Just chat with me in the comments. Let me know if you've heard any of these myths that we talked about. So far, we have the 4 myths. You know, I posted last week on Instagram. I did a reel talking about these 4 myths because I see it so many times. And if you're getting your legal advice from Facebook groups, they're going to steer you wrong. And the best way to figure out if something is true or not is just talk to an attorney, talk to a trademark attorney. Don't talk to an estate planning attorney about trademarks. That's bananas. They don't know anything about estate planning. Like, don't talk to me about estate planning because I'm a trademark attorney. I couldn't tell you about wills, right? You want to talk to someone that does what it is you need help with. So those 4 myths, again, these are not true. So these 4 myths are: your domain name, purchasing a domain protects your brand. Your LLC keeps people off your trademark. You have to make money in your business before you can apply for a trademark, you need to make money in your business, and trademarks are reserved for big businesses. So none of those are true. And we have 2 more minutes left tonight. So if you have questions, definitely let me know and I will get them answered. I don't know if I can I go back on here? I feel like somebody, I can go back. Let's see, does somebody have a question? No, we answered that question. Okay. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for joining. And Jasmine and Andrea are in the Genius Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's see, come back here. And I'm going to keep this replay up so you can catch it. But I will say we'll do this every second Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you want a heads up, what I want you to do is go over to geniuslounge.co, geniuslounge.co, and sign up. It's a free community where we have resources and you can even get discounted consultations. So go over there, sign up, and be on notice whenever we get ready to do one of these. Let's see. So what we don't do is give legal advice on when we're doing live because we want to keep that confidentiality. What I would recommend you do is schedule a consultation so I can actually get more information. We can talk and I can tell you the best plan of action for you to move forward and protect yourself, your business, and your brand. And you need to get your LLC. What state are you in? You keep telling me you got to get your LLC. If you are in Alabama, I can help you get your LLC. And maybe we should do another, and I can't remember if I've done Murray's Law about LLCs. Some people just feel like they have to get their LLC again because the internet is saying you have to get your LLC. But I think what you really need to know is determine what your goals are and see if that business entity furthers that goal before you just say, oh, I got to get an LLC. Maybe you don't need an LLC. Maybe you need a C Corp. Maybe you're fine with a sole proprietorship. We don't know yet. So in Virginia, I don't know. So I can't help you with your LLC there, but I can put a call out and see if there's someone that can help you. So I can do that. And I'll just let you know in your DMs whether or not we were able to find someone for you. All right. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, it is 7:30. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight. We'll be back in June. We will not be back in June. I will do next month. Oh yeah, we will. We'll be back in June. My vacation is not till July. We'll be back next month. Second Monday in June. Cool beans. Good night.